So it's starting to get cold, the season is about to change, and likewise for many of you, you are also about to change your season of life. If you are one of those people who are starting university or have already started that, and if this is your first time doing so, this is a video that you absolutely have to watch. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I have studied university for 6 years, 4 years during my bachelor's, followed by 2 years of master's, and during that time I was able to come at the top of my class during my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and then I traveled all the way across the world to study master's in mechanical engineering, and then I changed my field to robotics and AI software. And I was able to do all these things while making the best out of these university days. And in this video, I'm going to share some tips and recommendations on how you can make these best years of your life even more meaningful. Let's get started. Okay, so one of my top recommendations is to secure accommodation as close to campus and as early as possible. In many regions, and especially after COVID, campus housing gets filled up quickly, and you don't want to get stuck commuting if you stay away from the campus. I mean, staying away from the campus is something that you absolutely have to avoid at all costs, because actually the magic of university happens on campus, be it the late night library walks or study sessions or midnight snacking or campus activities or bumping into friends. This whole process of calling this weird place your new home becomes easier if you have more friends, and that in turn is easier if you are staying on campus. And yes, it is quite scary. I mean, I was shit scared during the freshers week of both my bachelor's and my master's, because there is this inherent pressure to make friends, which is by the way very normal, but it is very uncomfortable. And as I said, living near campus allows you to make more friends very easily because you bump into them more often naturally. And many of us are away from our homes for the first time, and friends help us get comfortable really fast because literally everybody is in the same boat. Although these early friends that you make are not lifelong ones, still it is great to go out there and go out of your comfort zone and make these friends, because it is a very important part of this new beginning. And please don't make the mistake of staying away from campus because you want to focus on your studies, away from the distractions, because university is not meant for those things. You're going to miss out on a lot. Be aware of that. Now, the Freshers Week is flooded with events that has a lot to do with drinking and partying and stuff. And if you're one of those people who enjoys these things, it's all good. But if you're not, you really don't need to worry, because there are literally so many more types of events that you can partake in during the Freshers Week, like game nights and movie get-togethers, or outdoorsy activity meetups like hiking or doing some outdoorsy sport. The key here is to just be yourself. If you don't fit in, don't try to fit in. Although that is something that most of us end up doing, unfortunately. Anyways, the best thing that you can do is to be yourself, because that is how you will attract like-minded people, and that becomes your clan for the rest of your university life, and hopefully beyond that as well. But the worst thing that you can do is to put up a persona, because if you do so, you're attracting people who are in alignment with that fake persona, not with who you truly are. And hence, those relationships will not last long. Lastly, if you are too self-conscious or worried about what other people will think of you, this phenomenon is absolutely normal. This is called the spotlight effect in psychology, where people think that they are being noticed more than they actually are. It is literally where people think that there is an actual spotlight on them and that everybody is noticing them, because the fact is that everyone else is just busy with their own stuff, managing their own spotlight. And so eventually, everybody forgets about it. Literally everyone that I know, myself included, was so anxious during the Freshers Week, but it really does not matter in the grand scheme of things. Now I just remember the magic moments from relationships and friendships that endured later on. Another thing that you absolutely need to do is to join as many clubs and societies as possible, and especially in the Freshers Week. This is the time when they are on the hunt, when they are running their promotional events to get people in, and you want to capitalize on this opportunity. Try out as many things as you can. Yes, there can be spamming in your email at the start, but that's fine. It is worth to find the right fit. The important thing is to have options to choose from, and anyways, you can unsubscribe or leave any society at any point in time. But truly, this is the time to explore and try out new things and see what sticks, because if you find something interesting, you will go deep down into it, you will develop passion for it, and you will also end up meeting like-minded people. That blends very well with the last point, because having friends around is a good support system to have during university and also after your studies are over in real life. For example, I joined the literature club at my university, and I was an avid reader at that time, but not so much of a writer. But joining this society sparked the passion of writing inside of me, which led me to start my own blog, my newsletter, and eventually this YouTube channel. I was also a member of a technical group called IMechE, that is the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, for which I was a member for some days, and then I was promoted to be the chairperson of that. And during those times, I learned a lot about leadership and arranging events and talks and technical presentations. And these things involve a lot of networking and communication skills and social skills and whatnot. I remember my social quotient going from here to here, and the same for emotional quotient, let alone the IQ. These experiences really go beyond what you learn in any classroom, and that is exactly what you are in a university for. University life is really not about studying. It is about personality development. It is about becoming the best version of yourself by gaining those SQ points, that is social quotient, EQ points, and obviously those IQ points from the studies that you do. Hence, a balance between studying and indulging in other activities is very crucial. Here's how I would go about doing this if I were in your place. Number 1, study effectively. I highly recommend you learn the right study techniques and effective methods based on the course you're taking. If the course you're taking requires rote memorization, then techniques like active recall and spaced repetition are very crucial. On the other hand, if you're studying something that does not require rote memorization but a lot of understanding and conceptualization, then you have to form other systems like getting good at knowledge work and forming a good knowledge base for yourself to refer to later, and forming systems for revisions and trackers, and forming different sets of problems for different concepts, and then also forming a system for revising those. And lead coding is just an example for this, where you are categorizing problems based on concepts and then you revise these problems until that concept solidifies in your brain. By the way, if you don't know, lead coding is something that is used by software engineers to get jobs. I can make a separate video on that. More on that sometime later. My point is, there's a bunch of videos on the internet showing what effective study techniques are based on the courses that you are taking, and I highly recommend you take those, because that will reduce your studying time to half or 1/4 even. And if you guys want one, please comment down below. I can make one specially for software engineering studying techniques. Number 2, invest in friendships and hobbies. Of all the people I know, including myself, when we think back to our university days, we never remember the subject or the course in which I got a straight A, or in which I performed exceptionally well, or the one in which I beat my friend with just a couple of marks. All I remember is the time spent with friends, the trips, the activities, and the personal development. Number 3, use productivity systems to manage your tasks and time better. Don't keep everything in your head. Use a productivity app to write things down. Mark your classes and exams on a calendar, and also the other things to avoid last-minute stress. Start planning your days and weeks in advance so that there are no last-minute surprises. And doing so will generally decrease your stress levels, which will make this whole experience of university much more worthwhile. That is it, guys. Remember that university is more than getting good grades. It's about developing yourself, building meaningful connections, and making those wonderful memories. If you have any more questions or want more study tips or tips on productivity, please comment down below. I can share them there, or if you want a specific video on some other topic, I can make that one as well. And if you like this video, you are absolutely going to love this one, in which I share the tools and strategies I use to manage my work as a software engineer. Most of these I picked up during my university days, so they are still relevant to you guys, and so please do watch it, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.